Hey guys, today I have a matching Whirlpool Amana washer and electric dryer. We've got them hooked up now. I always do 4 loads through them, give them about 4 hours of run time to make sure everything's working perfect on them. So on this set, we've got it hooked up. It's sensing right now, got it set to normal. Temperature is set to cool, so it's gonna actuate both water valves, hot and cold. Gets the water in there a little bit quicker. We're gonna use the deep water wash function here. Camera to focus. Deep water is kind of like the old school where it's going to fill all the way up with water. Auto sensing would save you a little bit of water, then you have an extra rinse for both. And so it's filling up right now. We do have the 2-part agitator, which is really nice. In my opinion, these do the best job cleaning. So this is kind of a combination, new style, old style washer, full submersion, dual part agitator, but it's going to spin super fast. And you want to make sure you use HE soap with it. So I've got some things to show off here in a minute that you'll need to get this hooked up and working properly. But for now, you can also pause if you want to know a little bit more about the HE and how that works. So that's pretty much a quick breakdown on how this washer works. And I'm going to show you that it fills all the way up with water, agitates, drains the water, and has a nice, fast, smooth final spin cycle. Then when it's all done, we'll grab the clothes and throw them over in the dryer and show you that the dryer is working perfect. So we'll be back here in a second. Now for the hookup of your washer, might consider a set of steel braided hoses like this pack here. I've got a link to both of these in the description. If you have trouble finding it, you can just click that. Also supports the channel, so we really appreciate that. But you can see here you've got blue for cold water, red, so it's easy to keep them apart. Now the steel braided is important because the cheap rubber ones have a tendency to swell and burst, and you definitely don't want that happening, especially if you're not home. And then a surge protector, there's many different styles, and I got a couple linked in the description. I kind of like this one because I'm always plugging other things in, but you can also get dedicated ones. You just want to make sure that it's 900 joules or higher, and that's going to protect your washing machine and the electronics on it. This one also has I believe that's a 4-foot cable on it too. So something like that to protect the electronics on it, super important. And this pretty much covers the washer. All right, now we filled all the way up with water. Like I said, it's full submersion. That 2-part agitator is doing an excellent job vortexing those clothes down and around. So we'll let this move through the entire wash cycle here. We'll come back for the drain next. Okay, it's running the drain now. Draining that water out. Nice and fast there. All right, into the final spin cycle. Now we can lift this up because we got an extra little lid locker here, so it thinks the lid is closed. But as you can see, spinning super fast. Nice smooth operation. Sounds great. So we'll let that finish up and we'll move over to the dryer. All right, now when talking about hooking up the dryer, a couple of things you're gonna need. You're gonna need to find out what type of power cord you're gonna need. These are all considered accessories, and they do not come with a new dryer or a used dryer typically. This is a 3-prong power cord. Looks like that there, has 3 hookups for the back, and it's 30 amp. You wanna make sure you don't get a 50 amp that has a straight one here. That's for a stove. You want to make sure you get the right one for a dryer. And I've got these linked in the listing description also for you there. Now this is a 4-prong, so it looks a little different, but it still has the L there versus a straight one, because they also sell this in a 50 amp for a stove. Very similar, so want to make sure you get the right one for a dryer. You can take a picture of your plug in your laundry room and match it up, make sure you get the right one. This goes on the back of the dryer, and then it extends out to wherever your wall hookup is. Super important to make sure you get one. It's easy to use. A lot of them have a flathead screwdriver on it to tighten it down. I like these wings here. You could just do it by hand. It's so much easier because every 3 or 4 months you're going to want to take this off and clean it out, so this makes it a lot easier to do. And then lastly, I always recommend a good dryer sheet, and I do not do fabric softener in any of the washers that I use or the one at home. Fabric softener is like putting glue in your machine. Eventually it gums everything up. Use 2 or 3 of these and you get the same softness effect on your clothes, but it doesn't mess anything up. So that's kind of the essentials there for your dryer. All right, now we've got the washer cleaned and cleared out. We can remove this little guy. We're done with that. So close that up. Washer's done. We've got the clothes moved over to the electric dryer. We've got it set to time dry, which is our high heat setting. You've got an air dry, which is for super delicate items like curtains and sheer things, and some athletic works you can put on air dry for basically no heat. Then you've got a low heat setting, also for those delicates. Then you have an automatic dry on high heat. And really the benefit here over the time dry is you get the wrinkle prevent. Here, I believe it's 60 minutes of 10 minutes on, 10 minutes off, where it'll go and cycle like that to keep the wrinkles for setting in. Gives you an extra hour to get back to this load and fold it up. You've got your lint trap here. Just want to make sure that gets clean and cleared out before each and every load. Then I'm going to show you that it is in fact heating like it's supposed to. You can hear it running and tumbling. Those towels right in here, that's where the heating element tube is. So it's super hot inside that tube. Then it's going to heat up the inside of your dryer. Hot air mixes with the clothes, exits right there where the lint trap's going to catch any additional lint. It goes down and out the back of your dryer, which is where you'd hook up that vent hose I showed you a minute ago. So that's good to go. We'll let that finish up and we'll get these listed up for sale. If you have any questions at all, feel free to reach out. And I do appreciate you taking the time to watch my video. Thanks, you guys have a great day.